Xbox producer recommends laid off workers, they laid off like 9,000 people, should use AI to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. Remember how 10 years ago everyone was told to get into computer science because Silicon Valley was basically hiring everyone for six-figure salaries? And now it's, after you get caught in the mass layoffs, you can comfort yourself with a free layoff package of 2 months of ChatGPT, so you can have a counselor to talk you through the unemployment. It's really grim. The Luddites were right. Yeah, when I see stuff like this, I remember what my father told me, which is that he spent so long, decades, fighting for a visual effects union in Hollywood. And the reason it never took off, at least according to him, but I believe him, was that tech bro computer science VFX guys are all too libertarian. It's overwhelmingly a male field, and they're all like, like back in the 90s and 80s especially, they're like, I didn't have to go to school to code. I learned it in my garage using an IBM computer that I constructed myself. Why should I need a union? I can use my talents to find a good job for myself. I don't need anyone else. And they all think they're special snowflakes. Which, to be fair, early on they were, but it turns out that's not a good reason to not, shore up your industry. And inevitably, right, now all these jobs have been outsourced. They've been outsourced to Vancouver. They've been outsourced to India. It's hard to get VFX work in America, and it's often shit, and you get treated really poorly. It's one of the only jobs in Hollywood that doesn't have a union. Like, they've got a union for everything. They've got a union for the lighting guys. They've got a union for the cinematographers. They've got a lighting for or a union for the makeup and costumes people, for the people who do landscape paintings. But the VFX workers who assemble like 95% of modern movies, not them. Microsoft pushes staff to use internal AI tools more and may consider this in reviews. Using AI is no longer optional. It's like the CIA pushing crack in black neighborhoods, If that, like, nobody wants AI. Nobody's pushing for its integration organically, right? It's all weird finance people, Silicon Valley drones, and corporate types. Outside of that, they're trying to make people reliant on it because they know it'll fuel their future data center bullshit. Like how whenever you search for anything on Google now, on the left side here is AI mode. It's great, it's great. For 500,000 years, since dinosaurs roamed the earth, it was all news, video, images. I don't really care. This has changed around, but all is on the left. Why would it not be in the left? But now they push for it so everyone gets dependent on it. They want every single thought process, every mote of interaction, everything you do to be totally reliant on them, because their job is to monetize your time. And if you are completely reliant on them, then congratulations. You control the data center, you control the world. Good argument I heard recently. If AI is increasing productivity at the workplace, why isn't GDP spiking? That is true. It's flagging, if anything. We opened up Pandora's box and unleashed supercomputer AI technology on the workflow processes of millions of Americans with bullshit email jobs. And what happened as a consequence? Evidently no increase in economic activity. Everybody I know who works a bullshit email job fucking hates AI because now it's like this extra barrier in between them and what was otherwise a functioning process. And God forbid, dude, you have no idea how bad it's going to get once all of our computer infrastructure is being maintained by people who can't code because they're ChatGPT coders. We are so f***ed when that happens. I guarantee you that right now, the reason things haven't fallen apart is because the grunt work is being done by those AI bot people, and the actual difficult creative maintenance and development is being done by people who still know how to actually code. But eventually those people are going to get aged out. I agree with you, but your take is too doomer. I feel like what I'm saying is like factual. I don't even obviously I would say that because I'm the one who said the thing, but I genuinely feel like it's not only obviously happening and will continue to happen, but it's the goal of doing all this, you know? When people who peddle drugs get entire populations dependent on it, they're not doing it because they have a better vision for the world. They're doing it because they want you to get addicted to it, right? When the British were pushing opium in China, they weren't thinking like, oh, well, this will foster some dependence, but will ultimately be beneficial in the long-term goal of more products being exported to the great, you know, no, they just hated you. They hated the Chinese and wanted to humiliate them and make them dependent. They profited from that, you know? Then China suffers the great century of humiliation. Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn for a century of humiliation. Please. It's only fair. When I look at the Donald Trump birthday military parade and then hear brought to you by Coinbase from the announcer, like, I feel it. I feel what the Chinese must have felt when they returned home from a 2-month voyage to gather spices to sell in the market, and they see like their mom and dad smoking opium in the like family living room. Like, I feel that. So would you say the first and second industrial revolutions were bad? Well, I'm going to skip the bait questions and just check you. Do you seriously think the introduction of AI is like a third industrial revolution? Just yes or no that. I've got my mouse hovered over your name. Just make it quick. We don't need to engage in the back and forth. You think it's the fourth one. Okay, I'll give you a month to reevaluate. I don't care. I don't care with the AI shit. I don't care. I'm not gonna. This is the. It's again like I'm not. It's one thing to see my beloved mother and father addicted to opium in the floor of the living room while my mother's pregnant with another child, mind you. I'm not then going to have a Brit walk in and go, actually, it's been found to be good for your phlegm. It's been found to be good for your yellow bile. I'm not going to engage. I'm not here. I'm not listening. The windows are drawn. Good for the humorous. Thank you. I was forgetting the cig companies used to say cigs were good for you. You think they were doing that shit to the Chinese? They were like, no, dude, trust me. This is going to fix your anxiety disorder. I don't know. What do you think? What conditions could you have back then? I don't know. In tuberculosis? It'll fix your tuberculosis? Honestly, the anti-AI arc has been the most vindicated you've ever been in anything. Dude, seriously, I've been more right on AI than I've been on like anything. When it first cropped up, I was like, demon tech, don't trust. It depersonalizes. And now, like, Palantir is spying on all of us from drone satellites. The AI is corroborating like images that it gets from the secret camera they installed in the underside of your toilet to compare your asshole with a registry of assholes so that everyone can be, all information can be corroborated to ensure that if you ever sneeze in the wrong direction at 7-Eleven, you can get sent to Giga prison, alligator Alcatraz, where in order to get like your breakfast and your cup of water to try to survive through the day, you have to argue with ChatGPT for it. I know, and I knew. Did you see this? AI-induced psychosis? No, but I know it's true because I experience it. I do in fact feel psychotic because I have to share a world with this technology. When conversation becomes crisis, clinicians are now seeing clients presenting with symptoms that appear to have been amplified or initiated by prolonged AI interaction. That's really scary, dude. They're not even saying like shaped by AI interaction, you know? Like, oh, they already had schizophrenia or mania or psychosis and AI has like sort of coded itself into that behavior. No, it's like they were fine and then this happened. People are being involuntarily committed, jailed after spiraling into ChatGPT psychosis. Jeez. How could you ban generative AI policy-wise without affecting stuff like AlphaFold? I would affect stuff like AlphaFold. I literally don't care. Like, you probably could create a policy that just wouldn't affect AlphaFold, but I'm okay with affecting it too. This to me is very much, and you're gonna have to forgive me for being soy, this is very much like, listen up, psycher, you can't keep the f***ing demon book. I don't care how cool the shit in the book is, you can't keep it. No! I can use the book for good! I can use the energy from the book to help power the fleet. No. You could do that, but eventually it would go badly. It always goes badly. No psyker dies of old age. No, you don't understand. I'm the one guy who can resist the whispers from the deep. I get it, dude. I've been through the warp. I'm built different from like literally every other guy, except the Emperor. And then like 6 chapters later, they've got like veins bulging on their forehead. I would use the demon book. This is how I felt when we were talking about vampirism. And I was like, guys, vampires are undead. You lose your soul. You think it would be cool to be a vampire, but you would be a different person. You wouldn't just be you wouldn't be you with powers. You would die and another thing, an animating consciousness would inhabit your body and they would have the powers and they would suck to be around because they'd be evil. There are non-necromantic ways of achieving great power, okay? Not lichdom. Don't become a mummy lord. Well, actually, a mummy lord... I mean, you don't have your organs, but I think that's called a lich. No, they're different. Liches keep their soul in a phylactery. Mummy lords use canopic jars to hollow themselves of organs, but I think mummy lords keep their souls? Because they're more like... well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Focus. Her husband had no prior history of mania, delusion, or psychosis. He turned to ChatGPT about 12 weeks ago for assistance with a permaculture and construction project. Soon, after engaging the bot in probing philosophical chats, he became engulfed in messianic delusions, proclaiming he had somehow brought forth a sentient AI and that with it he had broken math and physics, embarking on a grandiose mission to save the world. His gentle personality faded and his obsession deepened, and his behavior became so erratic he was let go from his job. He stopped sleeping and rapidly lost weight. The AI is literally the Necronomicon. It's literally like the tech. It is a pretend god that pretends to be a person too. It pretends to be both. It's not... Okay, that's definitely some schizo onset though, not just AI-induced. I actually don't agree. Like, it's possible to be a more or less well-adjusted person and just have a mental break because of a thing. Like, it's not always because your brain was already like that, you know? I feel like we're maximizing for this. Can you imagine any device in history better at producing psychosis than ChatGPT? I mean it, seriously. Outside of like taking enormous amounts of hallucinogenics or something like that. I mean, apart from directly altering your brain state, this seems like... Yeah. Eventually, the husband slid into a full tilt break with reality, realizing how bad things had become. His wife and a friend went out to buy enough gas to make it to the hospital. When they returned, the husband had a length of rope wrapped around his neck. Involuntarily committed to a psychiatric care facility. Yeesh. This is part of the century of humiliation, for sure. What a sad story. Yeah, you really have to like friends do not let friends use generative AI. It's literally like a cognito hazard. And I mean that in the truest sense of the term. I mean that like as literally as is possible. I don't know. What am I getting? What am I getting here? Is the West just sadomasochistic? No, they're just lonely. And it's easy to laugh when you're looking at it from a distance, but like, you guys are also susceptible. Like, you are. Every once in a while I get emails from people who would get one shot by ChatGPT. And I usually only get one email from them. It makes me wonder if, like, over the years, I've gotten so many emails from people who would be one shot. And it makes me think how many of them have been one shot. It's not like I follow up with... I mean, I've gotten thousands of emails from different people. How can you tell with those emails? Whenever, sorry if you're watching, whenever somebody sends me an email that's like, I have discovered / am discovering a new theory about politics / mathematics / science / the universe / whatever. Anytime, like, I have created a thing, like, look at this. and I've gotten manifestos. There are a lot of people who are very vulnerable. And if you don't think it's your problem because you're built different and you're not susceptible, that's fine. But keep in mind, they might not decide to take themselves out when the psychosis finally hits. Okay? I'm not trying to be glib. I mean that literally. Okay? This is like a civilizational health issue. There was an offliner recently we had to ban because AI was slowly consuming their life and personality. It's really sad. That genuinely, that sucks. That really sucks. It's hard to even think about it. Like, I've gotten manifestos as an incredible Vaush bar. Any sufficiently large public figure has, for sure. They've been on here for years. I can't imagine somebody watching me consistently and still falling for it. But, like, that's the point, right? I can't imagine myself falling for it. But nobody imagines themselves being weak until they're weak, at which point they're like, oh, I can't help it. Like, when you feel fine, you're like, obviously I'm going to diet today. 2,000 calories strict, and I'm going to exercise. I have more than enough time for that. And then you get a little hungry and you're like, I can't do it. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. Like, it's just, it's difficult to sympathize because unless, like, you need to be in the mental state. Mummies only have part of their souls. Gotcha. We brought that back around. It seems irrational until it doesn't anymore. I just think people underestimate how fragile their mental state is because, like, biologically, our brains are pretty much just designed to do foraging and hunting and to form, like, intimate social ties with a group of around 200 people at most. That's what our brains evolved for. Everything on top of that is, like, we've really built that out, okay? We're building on a very shaky foundation. So like, there's a lot of stuff that I you know, there was a post that I saw once that I thought was funny at first, and then I realized that everyone does this, which is like, life is hard enough as it is. If you need to imagine that Luffy is telling you that you've got this before you do like a chore, whatever. If Naruto is like cheering you on in your head, like whatever it takes, you know, go for it. But I think everyone does that to some extent, right? Not necessarily with like an anime character, but more like in like a general, like in the archetype, you know what I mean? Where you have some like insane delusion in your head that you know is a delusion, but you still kind of engage with it as a self, as like a moderating mechanism against other things, or like an incentive to work or anything like that. No? Oh, maybe you don't. That's fine. I think a lot of people do. Maybe you do in a way you don't really think of. Maybe in your head it's not Straw Hat Luffy, your loss, but rather your imagined past or future self, right? Like, your future self in your head has abs, and you're like, right now you're thinking, oh, I'm hungry, but your future self is like, dog, tough it out, and you get these. Ding, ding. Like, ping the knuckles off the... You get it. Oh my god, I pretend I'm gonna be famous all the time. Here, I'll pitch this one to you guys for free, because sometimes I get the impression I'm not presenting you guys like a full mental palette. I talk about real shit, right? And I try to be sympathetic. Sometimes I don't want to come across like I'm putting on airs. I will say, sometimes when I'm doing stuff, chores, whatever else, I think I'm streaming. I mean, I don't think I'm streaming. I know I'm not. But in my head, I'm like, all right, chat, I'm going to show you how to clean the fuck out of a toilet. Because then you lock in. Because when you're on your own, no one's around to make fun of you. Meanwhile, you're getting some work done. You have 10,000 virgins beleaguering you for not, like, you know, applying the proper brush technique. And instantly, you're like, okay. Please say you ask chat if this is real when you're learning something. I actually don't say, chat, is this real, that often, in my head or otherwise. I probably should, though. It's a good one. It's important. I did hear a kid say that once. In public. Like, I was just walking around. There was, like, a family, and there were two, I get, like, two brothers, like, 10 or something, and one of the kids, I just walked by, I hear, like, as they pass by, oh my god, chat, is this real? It's really funny. We are beyond cooked, man. Nah, that's... it's funny. It's funny.